Hello YouTube, welcome to my garage. Today we got a project on my Lancer Evolution. So I got to do this car first. I got other projects for my Lotus up here, but when I want to work on that one, obviously this car's got to not be here, so I got to drive that out. So I just figured I'd do all the maintenance I need to do on this one first. So one of the issues I've been having is, I run E85 in this. This is a bolt-on car, E85, and sometimes under boost, it breaks up. And oftentimes in previous years, I would swap out the spark plugs, and it would work for a little bit, and then the temperature gets cold, and it will stumble, and it will break up again. Did that a couple times. In the past I've changed the fuel pump, thinking that was the issue, but actually I've been reading, and the issue might just be that I have the wrong spark plugs in there. I was running something that was a little colder than factory, and I think that might apply if I was running gas, but I've told when you run E85, probably should run a little smaller gap and run a different plug. So that's what we're going to try out today. So this is the one of the factory equivalent factory plugs, not one step colder. Also, I gapped them to 0.02, reading online consensus that seems to be what we do. So I already pre-gapped all of these. They were pretty close, but all of them needed gaps. So if you guys aren't familiar with how you work a iridium plug, you're not supposed to put any pressure on the tip there. So I got this little tool that pushes down. You turn this knob and it pushes down. You can use this tool if you end up having the gap too tight to open up the gap. So what I did is, I adjust them till I can't get the 0.021 in. See, this doesn't quite go in, but I can get the 0.02 in. So as you can see, that goes in. So these are all pre-adjusted, and then so I'm gonna get the old ones out. The other issue I have is sometimes when I come to a stop, I'll smell some ethanol, and I believe the injector seals are probably bad. So I do have some injector seals in all this. I kind of just put it all in here. I forgot which one goes to where, but we'll take the old ones out and we'll look at them. So we're gonna take the injectors out, and I also want to clean them and flow test them. So I got this little contraption here. We'll be walking through that together. So first things first, let's take out the old spark plugs and replace the new one. I have a aftermarket made by Spoolin' Up. If it's a coil-on plug kit. So this looks a little different than factory, but we'll go ahead and get started on that. If I just take this one, I can take the whole thing up. Go ahead and disconnect this line. Get the throttle cable out of the way. Two spots. I think I leave that one alone typically. One more connection right here. And I believe this whole part should just lift straight up. There you go. So, actually I think I can leave this whole assembly together. So in previous years, I've always used one of these normal spark plug sockets, and I always wrap something around it so that I don't pull up and have this socket be left in there. This year I upgraded to one that's built in with the little wobbly head. All right, first one out. We'll look at I'll look it up later if this has any issues or not. But this is a IKH24, and I'm gonna keep this one. I still believe this is still probably a good plug to use to have on hand. All right. So they all look fine. So it looks like these need to be torqued to 18 plus or minus 3 foot-pounds. So I got a little torque wrench. Gonna set that to 20, and then put these in. Now I don't believe these need any anti-seize on them. In the past, I looked at these. I read that they have like either a factory coating or don't need them. So gonna hand install these. Make sure I don't cross through. So the thing I like about this socket too, I believe it's magnetic. So, and then also there's a rubber ring in there. So, or it might just be magnetic actually, no rubber. So yeah, it tends to not get stuck in there. Okay. If I had some shop air, I would have kind of blown all this out, but it's not too dusty in there, and make sure I didn't drop anything in the. All right. Now let's go ahead and torque them all down. Okay. All right. Coils back on. All right, so we're done with that. So the next part is we're gonna look at these injectors. Now the injectors are a little hard to get because they are on the back of the engine here. You can see. I think I gotta take a couple things off, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna get the best shot here. I might move some stuff around to see if I can get a better shot, but essentially you disconnect the plugs. Let's see if I can see them. There you go. So there's a little clip there that you pull, then you pull the plugs out, and then you have to take this rail off. This rail just kind of pushes down on them, and then the injectors will come loose. So let me see if I can get one of them out. Come out. There you go. So I think I actually I end up losing a couple of these. So whoops, I think I had to make like a couple of them out of bent pieces. So there you go. So that's one of them. So after you release that, the harness just comes right out. So there you go. Now that injector is just wedged in there. So it's pretty hard to do with the camera here. So let me go ahead and disconnect the all four of these off camera. All right, managed to get all four of them off. Got all the connectors off. Next thing we need to do is disconnect the fuel rail. So we got a 12mm bolt right here, and then another one. Let's see if I can see. Just on under, hidden under there. After I take those two out, I should be able to get some slack in there. So let's see. All right, got those two bolts out. Pulled this rail out. You can see there. Some of the injectors came loose. Spill a little bit of gas. It's gonna smell terrible in here. So there's one injector. Looks like the other side is there's a part that is also to the engine. So we're gonna make sure we get those out. I don't really care which order they came out of. So I'm just gonna put them all. I'm not gonna keep track of which one's the number one cylinder. I don't think I had any specific issue on any cylinder. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just take these out. Last one. These, I think number 1 and number 4 are kind of hard to get to as far as the connectors and all that. So, and then the I'm gonna show you. So there's a little ring that stays on the engine. So I'm gonna carefully remove those. Let's see if I can do that with it being filmed. Let's see if I can remove that one. Making sure I don't drop it in there. Oh man, I'm gonna use the tweezer. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the other 3. All right, got them all out. So first off, I think I'm gonna need to order some parts. So I had these sitting around, and these don't look too bad, but I think these are only a year old. I believe these are the old ones. I say that because this part looks pretty bad. Looks a little deformed and dry. And I'm looking at the spare part I have, and it also looks not great. So I think what I did is I ordered spare injector seals, and I already used them. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to do all the test flow cleaning and all that, but I will order new injector seals. So these are Fuel Injector Clinic 1050 cc. I think they kind of, let me see, have it on here. So these are FIC 1050s. And yeah, I've been running E85 on them. This is part of the upgrade. Obviously, stock injectors can't keep up with E85 for the flow, so these are what's in there. So with this test bench, we got to figure out which adapters to use, and then I will try to run all four, but I've heard that sometimes these can't take the higher flow, so they do have blanking plates, so we can just do one at a time. So first I got to go figure out, I do have ultrasonic cleaner fluid that goes in the top here, and I've got to figure out what fluid to use as a test fluid. I think some people use isopropyl alcohol in here. So let me figure that out and gather all that stuff. It might be another day before I get to that. All right, we got this set up to start testing. I already sprayed it a couple times. First thing we're gonna do is do a leak check. So go ahead and hit that. Got some pressure on there, no leaks. So I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. So you can do an idle. This drains it. So and then what I found out is that this test stand, or this tool, doesn't have enough pressure to run all four at the same time. They'll run, but it won't quite have the pressure to reliably, I think, measure them. So I think when we actually test, we'll just do one at a time. But here's, I think, something we can do. A before and after cleaning would be the high-speed spray value test. So this works the injector 500 times. So if you run it, so with this you can kind of read the value to see if they're, so right now it looks like it's 41, or let's see, 40, 41, 40, 41. So it looks like they're running pretty well. But the thing is, I don't think this has enough pressure to run all four reliably. So I think when we actually do the test, what we're end up going to do. So it's going to repeat that test with just one injector running. Let's go ahead and drain the system. So we were getting about 41 mils. So once I run the same test through, we're getting a lot. So we're getting about 51 mils there. So, or sorry, 50. So that's what I'm saying. I think I'm just gonna run the same tests 4 times, with each time just running each injector. That'll probably get us a better result there. See, that one's 52 mils. Oh, looks like 51. And looks like this one is like 53. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this test, keep everything the same. I'm going to record that, do a cleaning, and then come back and repeat and see if these equal out. Looks like they're pretty decent already. They're pretty even, but just going to see if I can make any improvement there. So let me, I'm going to post maybe a picture of the result here. All right, so did the first test. So I went ahead and labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4. The results I got were 51, 52, 51, and 53 mils. So let me take this apart. I got a little ultrasonic cleaner back here, and let's try to clean this and then repeat this test. All right, so got some ultrasonic cleaning solution. It is like a neon green. Got these sat in there. So let's turn on the ultrasonic cleaning mode. Looks like that might be 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and that's gonna pulse them. And then we'll go ahead. All right, cleaning 10 minutes. Let's lift the injectors out and see what kind of stuff is in there. Oh, there's a little bit of something in there. Let me go ahead and take this out and kind of wipe them down, and I'll put them back in here. All right, got them all mounted. So it looks like there was some crud in there that knocked loose. Well, because it was clean before. So let's go ahead and let's rinse them all out, and then let's do the okay. I think that, so I'm gonna repeat the same tests, and I'll show you the results. All right, so repeated the tests, got the exact same 51, 52, 51, 53. So either my injectors are pretty, they were pretty good shape, no need cleaning, or I didn't have enough cleaning. I need to clean some more. I had heard that you can reverse these and do a back flush. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to do another cleaning and repeat this test. And if I get the same result, I'm kind of already pretty happy with how they are. They're pretty close to each other. And they're also, I think pretty consistent. So, just let me do the cleaning while I have it out here. All right. Let's get some more. I think there is a little bit more. So let's just run another. Let's just run another one. I think this time I can. Let's do 15 minutes. All right, so we're back. I end up doing 25 minutes of cleaning, and there is a little bit of improvement. So first off, I'm going to make a correction on my previous numbers. I realize that each one of these hash marks are 2 mil increments, because there is, so basically the numbers I got before, I'm basically gonna correct them. So I am seeing that this one went up to 54, from 52 to 54. This one went from 54 to 56. This one went from 52 to 54, and this one went from 53 to 58. So I'm not sure if that's from cleaning, but overall, I think that seems to improved. If not, it's just cleaning out extra gunk. When you look in the back here, there doesn't seem to be more stuff in there. I mean, there was some stuff that came out. I think they all went to the corner there in the hole, but there wasn't a large amount of items coming out. But anyways, I think these are good. So I just waiting on the new seals, injector seals, and we'll put him back in there. But for the testing, I'm happy with what I'm seeing here. So gonna probably be another week or so till we get the parts to put it back in there, and then let's take it out for a drive and see if we still have issues with breaking up at high RPMs or high boost. All right, welcome back. It's been about a week, and I got my package from Fuel Injector Clinic. Let's see what is in here. So, let's see. This is the that part number. So it should be, these are comes with this kit, and it looks like it has everything. So it's got the blue O-ring, the black O-ring, this seal, which this seal looks pretty bad on the ones I have, and then one that's the injector to the block. So yeah, let's see if I can just, I don't care about the old one getting damaged, so let's start doing this one by one. Okay. All right, so I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I like to either use some assembly lube to make sure these don't get, pinched or torn when you're putting it on. So I'm going to put a little bit on here. Yeah, find a way to open these. Okay. So we'll keep one. We won't do them all at the same time in case we forgot. I'll put them back on. Okay, so here we go. Here's all the new black ones. So getting a little bit out. So it looks like the black ones O-rings go in first, followed by the blue O-ring. I'm just gonna maybe okay. And then this larger one. So for the next one, I'm going to put on the larger one first. But yeah, that all goes in there. And there we go. So with these other ones that go on the block, I find it easier to actually put this on the engine, and then we'll slowly lower this, and basically they get put in like that against the block, and then the whole fuel rail gets. So I won't be putting these on the injector himself. So let's go ahead and just do them all. I'll keep the I put the old ones back in my used pile. So there's one down, 3 more to go. All right, so we got 4 of them injectors done. All right, I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to show this, but these basically get inserted in to each of this, making sure I don't pop it into the engine. It's a little larger than the inside hole, so usually put it in like right there. So I'm gonna get those all in there, and then hopefully that holds the injector slightly in, and then we'll try to bolt on the fuel rail. All right, this is a really tough job. I think if I want to make it easier, I would take the strut bar off and maybe undo some of these wiring looms. But essentially you wedge it in. I already got one of these bolts in, and then you have to wiggle it in. So you can see that one's not quite the way in, but I'll line them up, and basically you just kind of wiggle it in there till they seat like that, and then you put the bolt in, and hopefully at the end everything will be good. And then after that we'll connect the injector harnesses back up. All right, was successful. So got them all. See if I can show you better. Got them all seated in there. So the fuel rail is bolted down. So the next thing we got to do is gonna put those harnesses on. And what I find the best is to the little metal clip, put it in halfway and push it in, and then push the clip in. So let's see if we can do that. Let's do the easy one first. Right, let me try this. So I got it in kind of halfway. There's only one way to put it on, and okay, I'll get this one out of the way. See, I don't know if you can see anything, but once I got it seated, I'll push the clip in like that and give it a tug. Yep. Once I got it seated in, you can't pull it out. So you go ahead and there you go. Use my needle nose. Use my little tweezer to make sure it's pushed in. So yeah, that's an easy one right there. And then the harder one, I think, would be the ones hiding in the corner. Let me go ahead and get that on. All right, got all the clips on. Oops, forgot my little tweezer. So won't be able to go out and drive today, but we'll at least be able to start it up and confirm that everything got put back correctly. Alright, well, I didn't see any leaks there, and I didn't quite have my car on a tender, so I needed to hook up the jump starter, but looks like everything went back together alright. I don't smell any ethanol, and yep, no smells or leaks or anything, so I'm going to call that a success. Well, what this does is it allows me to now be done with this car, and the next thing we'll do is start working on the Lotus for the winter. So All right, thank you guys for joining me on this short series about changing some spark plugs and injector seals.